Oh, hello, and welcome to today's Decay. We're celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time, April 3rd edition. And it's one that I can truly say we are out of our gourd to present to you. Why is that, you ask? Well, today in 1783, one Washington Irving was born. That's right, the creator of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman himself. I'm a big fan of Sleepy Hollow, aka Tarrytown, located about, an hour or so north of Manhattan. Washington Irving actually lived a good deal of his life in Manhattan and was kind of like a celebrity at the time. It's kind of interesting. I forget his name now. The guy that wrote Ivanhoe, who pretty much from like a modern standpoint reinvented or like solidified what like historic Scotland was about, I guess. I wonder if you couldn't say that like Washington Irving and maybe a couple of other writers of his ilk really solidified what the like beginnings of America, how we identified ourselves and like what this country was early on. Which is to say it was a headless Prussian soldier looking for vengeance. No, I don't know. I'm not sure about all that, but is interesting, I think, to think about how much fiction from generations ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, maybe even before, can like shape and define reality as we wind up like moving forward in life, right? Like what was the country's aesthetics at the time? What were our goals? What did we think we were interested in? Walt Whitman, maybe another one in that same ilk that like became synonymous with the narrative of a fledgling country. Yeah. Anyway, Sleepy Hollow, one of my favorite places to go. Well, any time of year, but specifically in the month of October when they have the Sleepy Hollow Film Festival, and Jonathan Crook does a live dramatic interpretation of the short story Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It used to be in the Old Dutch Church in Sleepy Hollow, which was one of my favorite spots, kind of for kids and or families, but childlike mind, what the hell, why not? And these days, I should say the Old Dutch Church is really fun anyway. This is where the Ramones filmed parts of the, I think, Pet Sematary Pet Sematary music video, and Dark Shadows was filmed there as well. And all surrounding the Old Dutch Church is where Washington Irving wandered through the graveyards and picked various names that caught his eye and included them in his story. So these weren't like the fictional characters from his story that are buried there, but rather historic people that he had like borrowed their names to put into this fictional account, which is very similar to what Bram Stoker did in Dracula when wandering around the tombstones in Whitby. I'm guessing that was just like a thing people did back then, or maybe Bram Stoker was inspired by Washington Irving, or maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Any and all of the above is a possibility. Cool. What was I saying? Oh, right. So Jonathan Crook is now doing his same thing on Washington Irving's estate overlooking the Hudson River. They moved outside of the Old Dutch Church, which I was torn on, but I gotta say, great setting as well, with like the Hudson River in the background and everything. Excellent stuff. Excellent indeed. Yeah, I just need like the tiniest excuse to go up to Sleepy Hollow. It really does it for me, I gotta say. What else? The tiniest excuse to visit Sleepy Hollow. Also, one little person with quite a big personality, Harry Earls, born today, 1902. That was the actor who performed in both versions of The Unholy Three, starring Lon Chaney Sr., as well as Freaks. I'm sure he's in a lot of other things, but I'm not sure off the top of my head what else. Probably performed in the Circus Sideshow a lot, but will probably forever be known for his role in and Freaks, right? Todd Browner's Freaks. Zachary at Large first hit the airwaves today in New York City in 1959. John Zachary started his career as Roland in Philadelphia. And basically the same exact character, just with a name change, became a many decades long beloved New York City horror host. And Zachary at Large was his New York City premiere. Excellent stuff. Midnight Monster Hop, many years ago, once we melded with Phantom Creep Radio. Every time I explain the story, it's like, so many words. We were horror hosting in a radio format at a live event with bands. You followed all that. Kind of with like an ode to Disco Teen, which is what I was talking about the other day with Nervous Norvus, the whole Zorch connection, right? And I was trying to get Zachary to come and attend one of our shows as like a special guest, but at this point he was really old and his assistant just said like, sorry pal, out of luck. Should have tried 10 years ago. And he's right too. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Also today, 1976, the Sex Pistols opened for the 101ers at the Nashville Room. Would have loved to have visited the Nashville Room on my last excursion to Great Britain. But, you know, the good thing here is I can always do that next time because there's nothing else going on from the Nashville Room standpoint to think it'll just forever be there or forever hold its peace. Anyway, we are going to rest in peace. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.